Hail and well met, humble friends. Welcome to Humblewood Yonderbound, the second season of a Humblewood game streamed here on Sword and Key. The first season, most of these wonderful heroes, a few of them have changed faces over time, but saved their world from an unending winter. This season, they seek to save not only just their world, but everyone else's, as an elemental cataclysm seeks to consume all. But for this episode, they're dealing with some more interpersonal issues. We'll get to all of that. Let me start out by saying I am Derek Sword. I use he, him pronouns. I am joined, as always, by these very lovely people who I will have introduced themselves and say more about themselves and their characters here momentarily. Before all of that, I do want to say that, again, this is a Sword and Key game, and you can find all of Sword and Key stuff at beacons.ai/Sword and Key. Find all of our socials, all of our donate links. This game is in support of Fauna and Flora International. It's a wonderful organization that works to preserve and protect this world's biomes and ecosystems and the animals that live within, and also help humans better integrate as we constantly encroach on these biomes and aren't always considerate of those fluffy animals that live there. Even the not fluffy ones are cute too. So please consider donating to Fauna and Flora International. Any donations that hit certain goals can impact our game. You can give crits and advantages and complications and all sorts of fun stuff. So please give that a consideration. We are doing a giveaway for a pin that was donated to us, an enamel pin from Fauna and Flora International. This is pin 4 of 5. So our fifth one will be our next episode. We'll be doing that giveaway right around break time after we come back from break. Also, on our beacons, you can join our Discord, hang out with cool people, talk about cool things, and you can see our affiliates. Affiliates like Eldritch Foundry for custom minis, or Wishbone Cosmetics for some cool makeup, or Hit Point Press, who make Humblewood, and also Humblewood Tales, and also the Griffin Saddlebag games, and Sina Una, the Filipino-based TTRPG, or setting. I believe it's a setting. I've not played it. But I have seen their animated spell cards, and I have seen their Fablemaker's deck, and their music licenses, and their stuffies, and their models, and miniatures, and everything else. So please consider using our custom link if you yourself are looking to get into Humblewood and want to buy some stuff. It helps us out, and it helps you out, and it helps them out. All that said, let's go ahead and go around and have these people introduce themselves, and then I didn't ask before this. I should have. I believe we have a recap. If we don't, I'll do the recap. And then we will jump back into things. So, Shadow, if you don't mind starting us out.
Hi everybody, I'm Shadow. I use she, her pronouns. And I play Clarence, who is a College of the Undead Road Bardlock, probably. Yes. Who uses they, he pronouns.
What's the... Okay, I'm not going to ask. I'm not going to ask about the prop play. Next up, we have Liz.
I really appreciated the play? Question mark felt very appropriate here. Hi friends, I'm Liz, and I use she, they pronouns, and today I will be Betty Brightpaw, who is a Storm Herald Barbarian. I remember it this time. Yeah.
We're all doing amazing.
11 episodes in, and I finally remembered exactly what class and subclass I'm playing.
That's okay. Hey, we found the number. We found out how long it takes, and for some people, it's even longer than that. So take the win for what it is. Next up, we have Queon.
Hello, you beautiful people. I am Queon. I go by Brother Queon across all of the internets, and I use he, they pronouns. But today, I will be playing Soren Dryspell, just a little circle of sand druid gecko guy who uses he, him pronouns.
Fantastic. Next up, we have Mochi.
Hi, my name is Anniek. I play Mochi. Some people seem to conflate us regularly.
It's the ears. Every time it's the ears. I'm so sorry.
The ears are amazing. I got them on Etsy. Let me know if you want the link. They also come in fox and in snow leopard. Anyway, Mochi is a little trickery cleric maypack, just a cute little raccoon, who last week found out she is, in fact, in a cult. But also found out like 2 weeks ago that we don't even pay taxes. So apparently I don't need it for my tax exempt status. So maybe we're a little less worried now. It'll be fine.
Fun stuff.
Yeah.
Okay. Last but absolutely not least, we have Christian.
Hey, everybody. Hey, my name is Christian, a.k.a. Fluffy Goomba, all over the internets. I'm a performer, educator, and event coordinator here in the space. My pronouns are he, him, and today I will be playing Argus Ironclaw, the swift scofflaw fighter. He's a Strig. He's an owl man, and the king of the Crest Mountains, and currently trying to smash a skull. But unfortunately, that didn't work out quite well.
That's okay. There's still opportunities to smash some skulls this episode.
But I don't want to smash this skull, though. This skull that they're in now is my friend's skull.
I said opportunities. I didn't say they were good opportunities.
Is it still your friend?
Oh, don't you do this to me!
Is it?
Kristen, I don't think you were on the call when I was mentioning, I hope just a couple of days ago, I almost hit an owl in my car, like flew right in front of me. And there was like a pit in my stomach where I was like, I could never look Christian in the digital eyes ever again if that had gone through. There's something that just like sank to the bottom, like, because it's bad enough, like I was mentioning, it's an omen already to see like an owl like that close. I don't know. Saw a coyote like 20 feet away this morning. Nature's out to get me. It's
just
fine.
coming for you.
Yeah, no, I did something. Fantastic. So again, donations to Fauna and Flora International are very much appreciated. And also I should mention, if you are in our Twitch chat, you can put !pangolin and get some pangolin facts, because pangolins are an endangered species and Fauna and Flora International works to protect them and has some really cool merch with them on it, and they're super neat because they're like little armor friends. I love them. Does anyone have the recap this week? Does anyone want to wing it?
Can we nominate people? Because I'd love to hear Clarence's perspective.
I would also love to hear.
Would love a Clarence.
That's what I was gonna say. I want to hear Clarence's perspective on all.
Not to push you into it, Shadow, but it would be pretty interesting.
Sounds unanimous, but you know, it's up to you.
Shadow, if you really don't want to do it, I could also do it from the skull's perspective.
Ooh, that's also
fun.
That might also be good. I think we should do the skull's perspective, because I think we're gonna get Clarence's perspective here during the episode.
Well, I don't mind taking that advantage either way. Okay.
You don't get that.
You give yourself give your own self advantage after everything you've done.
What type of shit again? You've taken our friend.
Dare you? So, from Caliban, Skull Speaker, Demi-Lich, Dark Lord of Ancient Times perspective. Well, we were all aboard the ship when all of a sudden everyone started talking shit about my friend Clarence, and I just thought Clarence should know about it, and machinations here and there and whatnot. Fleeing from dinosaurs this, and we're sailing through storms that, and really all that matters is that I regain my ultimate power through the use of this bunny person who's been carrying me this way and that. And so I sort of orchestrated a bit of a mutiny against Clarence. It was on a ship, I suppose that is the right terminology. Clarence stood his ground, good for them, and nevertheless his friends, hard to make air quotes when you don't have fingers, decided that they didn't want to be in the picture anymore. So I stood my ground and tried to kill them. And now I've placed myself atop Clarence's unconscious head, controlling his body, and seek to destroy all around me and once again conquer the known world. The end.
Great job, Derek. Great job. Disadvantage for your next roll. Thank you.
Disadvantage for life. Disadvantage on everything.
Disadvantage on your cow. Disadvantage on your ancestors.
Yeah. Wonderful. Okay. Let's change up this super happy-go-lucky Humblewood music. Hey, Humblewood licenses its own music. You can check it out at Hit Point Press and use our link to do so. Okay, we are going to jump into, well, an odd scenario, I would say, as you would see Clarence's unconscious body, I should say, has had the the skull, this demi-lich, Caliban Skullspeaker, has placed itself almost mask-like, helmet-like, over Clarence's unconscious Lupu head. This large, corvid bird beak extending outwards, Clarence's big floppy bunny ears pulled down behind them. And as Clarence's body rises into the air, arms outstretched, this voice, not just Clarence's and not just Caliban's, but a mix of the two, has commanded you all to kneel or die by his hands. That is where we're going to begin. And I will have you all roll for initiative here.
Not gonna lie, I'm really happy that I have advantage on inspiration.
Anniek, do you want to roll for that advantage?
Oh, yes, I would love to roll for that advantage.
Yes, I'm sorry. That's the other thing. There was an advantage given in our Friday game, the Woodland Gods game, that Anniek ran. However, the person who gave that advantage wasn't sure if Anniek was lying or not. So we'll do a roll off for Anniek and Shadow.
She was gonna give it to Clarence, and then I'm like, no, but Clarence is the BBEG. And then she went, no, in that case, give it to Mochi. And then she went, wait, is Anniek fucking with my head? Make him roll for it, which
The answer is
valid.
always yes.
The answer is usually yes. I got a 15 on the die.
Fantastic.
For which one?
That's for the roll off as
Oh.
that advantage.
I got a strong 8.
Okay. I think the
Strong
advantage
8.
goes to you. Let's go ahead and get initiative then. Betty, what was your initiative?
14.
All right. Anniek, what about Mochi?
Oh, hang on. I was
For your five.
updating advantages in chat.
You're all good. I'll come
I-
back to you. Soren, what about you?
12.
12. Argus?
19.
Ooh, very nice. And Clarence.
9.
I need to find a name for your combo. Because it's like Caliban and Clarence. There's got to be something there.
Claraband.
Claraban, that's good.
Claraban.
Claraband.
Sounds so cute, but it's so terrifying.
Sounds like a pharmaceutical company.
I was gonna say, it sounds like hay fever medicine.
It's
a little close to
Claraban.
Claritin.
Have you or a loved one tried Claraban in your life? You might be entitled
your-
to compensation.
Is your mind too clear? Would you need a necromancer's skull over top of it? Try Caliban.
Which does fit to my theory that all pharmaceutical names are great dragon names,
It's
and
true.
all minor disease names are great kobold names.
Mm.
Oh my
I'm-
gosh.
Look, I'm Dutch. We
stealing
already
that.
use the disease words as swear words.
Mm.
Yeah.
Just all
Yeah.
of them.
That's great.
Mochi, what was your initiative?
21.
21. Okay.
Thanks to the Sentinel Shield.
Huzzah!
yeah. All right. Well,
Tough.
Moch, you're up first. Claraban is hovering in the air about 4 feet up on the quarterdeck. So like right in front of the captain's wheel, Claraban has wind whipping all about him in this kind of whirlwind. It's going to be difficult terrain, around 10 feet around them, the two of them, and you can see that there are little flashes of energy, like electricity, this red lightning that every now and then discharge in this whirlwind that is only picking up in intensity, and it's kind of whipping the ship forward as well. So every now and then we'll have some dexterity saving throws depending on how the ship rocks in this already storm with now a mini storm atop it. So, Moch, what would you like to do?
Thanks, I hate it. Look, I'm just gonna hope Soren has another one of those protection from evils for Clarence's limp body. Although I don't know how that works if we hit Caliban. This is gonna get weird. Well, considering the speech he gave, I think Mochi's gonna start by shouting, "Those aren't your hands. Those are Clarence's hands." And then, God, just start off easy and see kind of what we're dealing with. She'll use Word of Radiance. Pick only Caliban as the target, like exclude everybody else in here. And then it's a cantrip. Oh, that doesn't go up again until 11th level. God damn it.
Okay.
He makes a Constitution saving throw.
Okay. So Clarence and Caliban are 1. So right now I will have Clarence also make this saving throw.
Okay. The Constitution?
Mm-hmm.
That is a 21 for the damage.
Pass.
That's an 8 for Clarence.
God damn it. So I only hurt Clarence. Clarence takes 9 points of radiant damage.
To see it.
Well, Clarence was at 0 hit points last time, so how are we doing?
you fail a death save.
Is that how that works?
Yep.
Nobody likes that.
Wait, hold on. I want to hear from the DM. Hold on.
Yeah. I'm like, now.
Just pause. Hold on.
So, Clarence, you do fail a death save.
Nobody liked that. Nobody liked that.
At all.
Mm-mm.
So, what is the visual that we see?
So right now what you see is like this energy this word of radiance. The energy channels outwards, and you see the body kind of shake, almost like an electric pulse went through it. And then the skull just focuses down on Mochi. Those two like gem-like eyes gleaming down at her, seemingly unperturbed. But you can see that like the energy has damaged Clarence's like gear and body and everything else. There's now like bruising on it, and there's like a limpness to the control as well. That even like the finger dexterity seems like it hasn't figured out just yet. It's been a long time since Caliban has had a corporeal body.
Got it.
So, next up
bonus action, channel the divinity, harness divine power.
Okay, what does that give you? What does that give you?
It gives me a spell slot back.
Awesome. Fantastic. Next up then we have Argus.
How do we do this? I'm going to move up.
Mm-hmm.
And then once I'm 20 feet in range, I'm going to use my last charge of the... Man, I'm so scared. Let's see, what's it called? The last charge of my Blessing of the Warrior King War Dance. And I'm going to teleport right up there. And it's going to right up in the aura of the swirling.
Okay. I will need a strength save for you. This is relatively high, but also in your wheelhouse.
I can do that, Daddy-o. Here we go. That's a dirty 20.
Okay. A dirty 20 will succeed, so you're only going to take half then. You're going to take 8 points of necrotic damage, as even within like this swirling, you realize that the energy that's kind of like being cast around isn't electricity. It's this like strange dispersion of necrotic energy.
Now that I'm up and close with this thing, does the skull like look like it's like attached, or it just looks like it's overlaying?
It looks like it is being worn more than it is like integrated. It hasn't like bonded with Clarence's, but like I don't know how to say this, not gross. So I'm just gonna stop there.
It hasn't fully masked on them yet.
Yes. We have not goosebumps. Monster masked. Yes.
I was just about to say that.
That's a good one. Cool. Argus.
But we all have that point around.
Argus is going to see that they got hurt by the magic,
mm-hmm.
and is just going to go towards their face, like go towards a port of the skull, and just try to rip it off.
Okay. This is going to be a pretty high check, but this will be essentially we'll consider this a contested check. So this will be strength on your part, and it will be at disadvantage, just in this sphere.
Cool.
But you could do as athletics if you wanted to.
Cool. Thank you. Ooh, thank you. That's very good. With disadvantage, I rolled a 15, so that is a 24.
Okay. What I'm going to use then for the Demi-Lich is Charisma.
Ooh.
And that is a 25, has a plus 11 charisma for that. Very close.
Is that both my attacks, or can I try again?
You can try again.
Yeah, we got to again. We got to
pull an attack for me. Okay, that is 26 that time for me.
Fucking lucky as hell. 25 from me.
Okay, dang. Okay.
Killing me. You're killing me, Smalls. You're killing me.
I might be on this next one. The Demi-Lich is going to use a legendary action for an energy drain, since you are basically right up on it. Clarence's head is going to, as you're like gripping on it, twist very like Clarence's body shouldn't be able to do this sort of way, and the skull is going to look at you, and those eyes are going to gleam from the skull, and I will need a Constitution saving throw at disadvantage.
Disadvantage, okay.
Yes.
You're lucky because that was a natural 20, and then the other one's an 18, so that's 26.
Okay, it still succeeds. So on
26 still succeeds. Oh wait a minute.
You succeed. Yeah, you're good. So let's see.
You had me worried there for a second. Yeah, I was like, are we dealing with a Lich or a Demi-Lich? What the hell?
It is Demi-Lich, although it is getting much closer to Lich at this point.
Stop it.
Okay. I think. Okay, so you're not blinded because you succeeded in the cloud of dust. You took half damage from that.
Yeah.
The energy drain. Okay, so you're just gonna take half that. So you just lose 5 hit points, and those 5 hit points are going to go back into Claravan.
Does that help Clarence?
Sort of. Technically, Clarence, there is a sort of revitalization. You can see that there's like a sort of a positive energy that channels into Clarence. However, it's more like parasitic, than like a healing spell would be.
Gotcha. I think just like as they're trying to pry it off, and they can feel it starting to come loose with each attempt, but it's just not holding, and he feels his energy being siphoned into them. Just like, come on, Clarence, could really use some support here. Don't you give up on me yet. And then that's my turn.
Fantastic. Betty, it is your turn.
Oh boy.
So the way I see it right now, you are within the sphere.
Yep.
If you would like to move out of it, you absolutely may. If you would like to start outside of this, if you'd like to stay inside of it, I will need a strength save from you.
Yeah, I think we're gonna have to do the strength save because there's not many places that I can move to. So let's get that out of the way, I guess. Strength save.
Oh,
well, at least I have a good bonus for that. So
not that it helped much.
It's a 13.
Okay. Betty, you are going to take let's see, that is 17 points of necrotic damage, and you are effectively blinded.
Wait, did you rage?
So we raged last time. I threw the net, so I didn't take any damage and I didn't cause any damage because my net didn't.
But you attempted it, so you still have it. If you attempt it, you still have it.
I'm pretty sure if you do it, I don't think you have to hit.
You don't have to hit.
You have to make an attack, not succeed on an attack.
So you'd still have it.
I see. Okay. Okay.
So you have advantage.
So if you'd like to roll with advantage.
That was even worse.
I try.
I know.
Look, we have to try everything here, okay?
Everything.
Yes, so you have advantage. When you make a melee attack using strength, you gain a bonus. The damage roll increases, blah, blah, blah. Resistance to bludgeoning. Your rage lasts for 1 minute. It ends early if you're knocked unconscious, or if your turn ends and you haven't attacked a hostile creature since your last turn, or taken damage since then. So,
Yep.
yeah.
So at least I took damage. I guess that's it's good.
That's true. You do maintain your rage. You
did
are
you say 17?
blinded, effectively blinded.
17.
17 points of necrotic.
Okay,
Yeah.
thank you. Okay. 6. All right. And I'm blinded.
Yes.
I'm gonna write that down just so I just so I don't forget that either. Okay.
That is until the end of the Demi-Lich's next turn. So it is not a... You won't have to do another save on it. It's just... It'll be at the essentially the end of the turn order. You will regain your vision.
Well... Shit. You know, I think this is a great opportunity for Betty to be a sponge. She's going to taunt Caliban. So I'm going to use my taunt ability, and she's standing there like her eyes are streaming with all of this sand. She can't see, and she's like, "Is that all you got? Is that it? That's what you're gonna do? Really?" To try to pull his aggro, basically. So string of provoking words at a creature that can hear and understand me. He has to succeed on a wisdom saving throw, or he has disadvantage on attack rolls against targets other than me until the start of my next turn. So
What's the wisdom save?
14. It's not very high.
Okay. Has a +9 to wisdom and wisdom 11. So there's
He rolled a 3.
Okay. Rolled a 3 plus 9 then. So only 12.
12. Okay.
Okay. So that head kind of like cracking sounds as like Argus is still like holding on with all the incredible strength that he has, and this thing just turns to look at you. You know, it's like trying to fight like a pneumatic press, really, with how much effort he's putting into it. Anything else for your turn, Betty?
No.
Okay. Then I will need a Constitution saving throw from you, please.
Okay. All right. We're gonna use a different die this time. Okay.
You have 3 auto crits.
Yeah. No, I'm gonna use one of my advantages actually,
Okay.
because that was a solid 1. It was a really strong 1.
Yeah.
That's better. That's a 16.
Okay. The DC was 19 for the life drain.
Was.
You're going to take 27 points of necrotic damage, and
27.
27.
Okay, thank you.
And those 27 get channeled back into Claravan. Okay.
Sweet. I love this. Thank you.
Next up, we have Soren.
Thanks. I hate it. So as all of this is going on, Soren is just like holding on to his staff and is just like, Clarence, are you really gonna let him win? And I'm gonna reach out and grab a hold of Clarence and cast protection from evil and good on them.
Okay.
So you have advantage to get out of this possession.
Fantastic. Okay.
And that is my action. And for my bonus action, just because I can see things getting a little rough out here for me, Soren kind of just like his body starts to shift a little bit, and certain portions of him start to become like whirling sand. I am entering my sand form, just for a little bit of bonus support for me.
Okay. Are you also? I should have asked because you're
not
also
leaving
kind of in that. Okay.
Because I have to touch Clarence, so
yeah, I'll need the strength saving throw from you then.
Okay. Let's see what this -1 gets me, babe. A 9.
Okay. With a 9, you are going to take. Let's see here. 18 points of necrotic damage, and you are also effectively blinded. I will still say that your spell is able to go off. You're able to reach out and remember where Clarence is. But even in your sand form, as the wind is kind of like this whirlwind is whipping around you, you're finding like particles of you are getting whipped around as well. It's like it's hard to maintain your sandy form in this difficult terrain. Okay. Next up, we have Clarence. We're gonna cut away real quick. Clarence, I am very curious. What would you say? So, Shadow, what would you say Clarence's happy place is? If he were to manifest in his mind a happy place, would it be home? Would it be a tavern he's familiar with? What would you say?
That's a great question, Derek. So I think Clarence's current happy place is going to be the bakery that Marley used to own slash work at.
Huh. Okay. We cut away to that bakery. That small but warm and cozy. Now empty in a way that is hard to describe. It's not abandoned by any means. There was always somebody who was ready to step in and try to fill the shoes that she had left. But nevertheless, it retains that warmth that you always associated with Marley. And you find yourself standing there now. The ovens making everything, nice and crisp with the cold air. It's snowing outside for some reason. Maybe that's just part of the happy place of this memory is the differential, the contrary nature of how warm this place could be versus how cold and unforgiving outside the doors could be. And you smell the acorn bread that's probably just getting close to being ready. And they're sitting at one of the small carved circular tables, sitting in a high backed, rather nasty looking spiked chair, throne almost. You see what you presume to be Caliban Skullspeaker, a large Corvum man with a jagged beak and these red, almost luminous eyes in this darkness, glowing almost like the embers in the oven itself. And he's sipping on a cup of tea with one clawed foot crossed over his knee, wearing these dark robes with these spiky pauldrons on them, just giving off pure Dark Lord as much as anyone possibly could. This is a rather nice place, Clarence. Come here often.
Well, I used to come here all the time. That was like way before I met you.
Nice all the same.
Clarence walks over to like the counter and grabs some acorn bread and starts slicing it, and then arranges it on a tray and brings it over to the table. And it has like the tray has sliced acorn bread with like a bunch of different like jellies and jams and everything on it.
I thought it might be nice for us to have a bit of a chat, and on some grounds that you wouldn't mind having a chat in. Make sure you use a coaster. He slides over like a doily to you and pours a cup of tea.
Well, seeing as this is my table, I don't think I have to use a coaster if I don't want to.
Always a bit of a rebel, then. Clarence, I have a conundrum. A paradox. I want to continue our arrangement, our agreement. But I also feel that it might be necessary to kill all of your friends, and I feel that might sour our relationship a bit. I'm wondering if you and I can come to some sort of, some sort of additional arrangement, some sort of understanding for what I'm going to have to do.
Interesting.
So, what I'm putting on the table, not literally, as none of this is literally here, I defend myself appropriately against your friends. If they die, they die. They can always be risen again in some sort of way or another. And in exchange, I will offer you the maximum amount of power afforded to me for someone who has done me a favor. And you shall serve at my right hand as I take everything that rightly belongs to me.
Clarence takes a long sip of tea.
So, what I'm hearing is that you think that you have all the bargaining chips here.
Well, I have quite a few.
You may have a couple, perhaps. But, Cal, did you know that I was the top student, if not the only student, who was exclusively invited to attend the avium?
I believe that's been said about you a time or two.
Hmm.
A bit of a good reason why I aligned myself with you. I was
Right.
the top student myself.
Ah, interesting. And, before I electively left the avium due to our disagreements on magic and who should have magic.
Did you also slay the Archmage as you left?
Not physically, but probably verbally.
You hashtag slayed.
Yes. I had the privilege and the honor of taking many of their classes. Many of them were about delving into the history and talking about these powerful magic users that came before us and that changed the Humblewood and how people think about magic.
I can see where this is going. How many books did you read about me, Clarence?
That's the thing, Cal. Your name is in none of those books. Nobody who currently roams the Humblewood even knows your name. Your name is unspoken. It's not even dead. It's just not heard.
He sets down his teacup and kind of leans back in his chair, just like steeples his feathery fingers, and just kind of like cocks his head over to you. There's like these red eyes just piercing. Well, history is written by the victors, I suppose.
Yes, Cal, the victors, because you were not a victor. You tried something that might have been spectacular, that might have been groundbreaking. But whatever it was, you tried it. And either you failed or something went wrong, or there was another hero of the Humblewood that was there to stop you. And then you were reduced down to what you outwardly outside of this bakery are now, and were locked away for hundreds of years.
You do know how to drive in a knife and twist it, Clarence.
But it doesn't feel good, does it? Right? To not even be forgotten, but to be completely obliterated from sound in this land.
It is a form of death that I did not anticipate. You're right.
As a bard, I know that form of death really well as somebody whose job it is to take words and experiences and turn them into things that vibrate throughout our entire world for as long as at least my voice can sing them. Cal, unlike I feel like some of my friends, I don't believe that necromancy is evil inherently. I think, like the Humblewood tells us, that there is balance in everything. And necromancy doesn't exist without radiance and the healing magic and all of that stuff. And they have to both exist. I think my question for you, Cal, who did you lose?
I lost many. I lost generals and armies, and I lost trust in those that I surrounded myself with.
Cal, whose glove is this? You're not a bard. You had no use for this glove. But it was there, along with a diamond that is a key magical component in resurrection spells.
It was too long before I tried. She didn't want to or couldn't come back. Perhaps she was the one that was too far gone at that point. Perhaps it was me.
I'm sorry for your loss, Cal.
Thank you. In many ways, you remind me of her. The smile that you carry everywhere that you go. It's when you came to me in that vault. It's part of why I tried to make the deal with you. Part of why I wanted to go with you was to feel, at least in a way, through you, a happiness when people saw you. I haven't had that for a very long time. When I would walk into a room, it would feel all the colder, and eyes like daggers in my back. The bakery rattles almost like an earthquake, like the teacups clattering on their little plates, and the coals shift slightly in the bakery. Your friend Argus is trying to separate us, it seems. He's trying very hard.
Yeah, I imagine so. Argus is one of my bestest friends and has taught me many things. And that's what it feels like, Cal, to have people that care about you.
A counteroffer, then. You seem to be prepared to come to the table. I have promised you power in exchange for conquest and a small sacrifice. What is your counteroffer?
It's not so much a counter offer, but I think it is my final offer. Perhaps. Do you know how long lupus live?
I suppose I've not known many of your kind, at least not in any interpersonal sort of way.
Currently the longest known living lupu lived to about 110 years old. That is easily decades beyond what some of the others who inhabit the Humblewood, their lifespan is. So the way I see it, Cal, is that you could go back to some sort of locked tomb, to some sort of dark place by yourself for centuries and return to being less than unknown by the world. Or you can learn from me, and you can learn from my friends, and you could become perhaps the version that she wanted you to be. And you have the chance to help make a difference for the better in this world. But it has to start with me, and it has to start with my friends.
Clarence, as you finish your statement, your proposal, you notice that you are glowing with this like greenish gold kind of energy. It's kind of like stippling off of your hair. It's like there's this static around you, and you can see that Caliban is his visage that he has presented himself as this massive dark lord has shrunk somewhat in this throne. The pauldrons not as spiky, the cloak seemingly like wearing him more than he's wearing it, the gleam in his eyes less bright than it was before, and he looks up to you through this furrowed corvum brow. Your friends seem to care a lot about you. Another chip on your side, then. I don't want to be forgotten, Clarence. I wanted to be great, and in that greatness, that I would be enough. I don't want to go yet, Clarence. I will. Clarence, you have the opportunity here. You have advantage on breaking this possession, thanks to Soren. What would you like to do?
Clarence reaches out with the hand that is wearing the glove. And reaches out for a handshake.
The Dark Lord Demi-Lich looks at your hand as confused as if he's surprised it's not holding a weapon in it, but a sign of friendship. Something he's not seen in a long time.
Cal, now it's time for your pact with me.
I can't promise that I'll be perfect, but is it enough if I try?
None of us are perfect. However, I need to see some vast improvements from you rather quickly. Or I will let Argus smash your skull to bits and let Mochi blast them with radiating energy until they're literally just a figment in my imagination on this world.
I was going to say give me a persuasion roll. That last part was a little intimidation. I will let you pick between a little. I will let you pick between the two.
Just a tiny,
Whether you'd
tiny
like
thread.
to do persuasion or intimidation.
I think Clarence knows that he has to have a very firm hand right now.
Mm-hmm.
So I think he's gonna go with intimidation.
Okay.
We gotta put the bad Lich in his place. And that's with advantage?
It's with advantage.
That is a 23 with advantage.
He reaches out to take your hand, and you feel this cold grip that is met with the intense warmth of not only this place, but emanating from you, this radiance that is emanating from you. And a pact is agreed.
Clarence pulls Cal into a hug, but also whispers in his ear, "What happens if they actually do crush your skull?" Because I can't promise that once we go back, that they're not gonna break you just a little bit.
I'm not sure I don't deserve it if they do. But if they do, then I won't be your problem anymore.
Okay.
And as the two of you embrace, this image fades, and your eyes blink back to see this stormy ship all around you, and your friends. To everyone else outside, a blinding light emanates out from the eyes of the Corvum skull, and Argus, you find yourself standing right next to Clarence, who is totally fine. A little beat up, but standing, maybe even smiling. The Corvum skull firmly in your grasp. Betty, Soren, Mochi, you see the rain still pattering down, but there's this like fading golden light that's kind of almost like steam coming off of Clarence. And you all stand there waiting for the next blow, but it doesn't come. The potentially death bringing screech that this demi-lich had prepared for its turn never emanated from its beak, and you are out of initiative.
Clarence goes running over to Mochi and gives Mochi a hug if Mochi will let them.
Mochi would let you, but the hug back is not particularly strong. Especially since you're carrying the fucking skull. It's like she's squirming away from where you're holding the skull.
Argus does have the skull.
Oh, Argus has the skull?
Argus was pulling it free,
Okay.
and it just like, just when you finally get the right angle on something, came right off of Clarence. You don't remember feeling that.
Love
You
that
don't
sound.
remember any of that. It's just like you were standing there, and now you have it. And so Clarence is skullless.
Great. So all we have to do is cast Protection from Evil every 10 minutes for the rest of our lives. This is going to be great.
Mochi, I did it.
You do what?
I did.
Is he dead? Deader? Dead. How do you kill undead things? How does it work again? We've been over this and I forgot again.
Yeah, I thought there was something about burying them in the earth, like really deep, and then pouring in like some solidifying liquid rock.
We were thinking
solution.
anchor and ocean.
Oh, okay. But no.
No.
Cal and I
we're
had
still
a
on a
talk.
first name basis.
Yes.
Despite the possession.
Oh, that makes a lot of sense.
Half give me strength. Clarence, what do you think just happened?
I'm not 100% certain, but all I know is that I got hit, and then I passed out, and
Hit
then
by tiny steps. Hit by
evil Caliban.
as opposed to non-evil Caliban. Is that what I'm hearing in this sentence?
No, as opposed to kind of like morally gray Caliban.
Okay, continue.
And then I was in Marley's bakery. Mochi, do you remember Marley's bakery? It was so cozy.
It was amazing. It always smelled like acorn bread.
I know there was acorn bread baking even. And then
You didn't invite me again.
Well, I couldn't. And then there was Caliban, but not skull Caliban, like full feathered Caliban. And he tried to look really, really intimidating. And so I gave him some acorn bread and we drank some tea. And then I metaphorically slapped him on the wrist for being a gigantic butthead.
Yeah, keep going. No, you're right. Keep going.
And then I made him agree that he is going to try and not be evil and learn from us and learn from me and is not going to hurt us anymore.
So from my perspective, you got hit by evil Caliban, and then evil Caliban took your body to go from demi-lich to full lich and rule the world, and did so by draining the life out of your friends.
Oh no.
Until Soren cast protection from evil on you and Argus yanked the skull from your head, where it was clammed on to consume your soul and your body. Clarence, are you seriously saying that, like, you're still cool with the Lich? Is that what I'm hearing? He was murdering us one by one, Clarence, using you.
Yeah, and that's why I talked with him about how we can't do that anymore and how that's wrong.
All right, Clarence. Well done. Good for you. Mochi's going to walk away from Clarence and is going to go over to Betty and Argus and start healing them.
I think as Mochi approaches, Betty's kind of like tapping the skull in Argus's hands.
Oh, don't. He's still around. Clarence made a deal. It's not dead. He's still chilling and listening to everything we say because Clarence is still his friend. Now get over here so I can heal you.
Did we before? Was there any point in time where any of the rest of us heard Caliban's voice out loud, or was it just Clarence who heard the voice?
I believe you've heard Caliban's.
A lot of
voices.
us have talked with him because
Yeah.
Clarence wanted all of us to be friends together.
Right. So I think maybe kind of like half overhearing their conversation as she's like reaching in and tapping with her claw on the edge of the skull. And she's just like, so are we friends now, Caliban?
Muted.
Am I?
Yep, yeah, you're good
Where?
now.
Oh, okay. The way that I see it, friendship will have to be something that I earn from all of you. For the time being, I tried to kill you. You tried to re-kill me.
Mm-hmm.
No, we did not try to re-kill you.
We just tried to save Clarence.
Who
You're
you
collateral.
possessed.
You're not important enough to be the main target. You got
Then
between our friend.
I did. I will take ownership of my wrongs.
Mm-hmm.
As I told Clarence a moment ago, I cannot promise perfection, but I can tell you all that I'm going to try. And I am going to try my best to be better.
Can Mochi insight check him?
Sure.
Beautiful.
As Mochi's doing that,
I'm using one of my auto crits for 28.
amazing.
Fantastic reason.
So hard to get an insight on a skull, right? There's no body language, there's no facial features. You're just going with tonality and
Vibes.
yeah, vibes and just what's happening right now. What you see happening right now is a lack of animosity. What I'll tell you even into that is Clarence's sincerity. That you absolutely pick up that Clarence is being sincere with what he has told you. And as far as what you're getting from Caliban, you're not picking up on, like, you've heard Caliban before. You've heard the, oh, I'm going to orchestrate this and machinations that and all blah blah blah. Like, this is a cowed sort of tonality that's coming from Caliban. This is the kind of tone you would hear from like a youth who's just been told that they like messed up something really big, but they're being given a second chance, but they have to like work towards it. Right? This is probably somebody who's maybe never been given a second chance.
As Caliban is having this conversation and there's a pause, Betty kind of leans in and like digs her claws in just a little bit into the skull, just a little bit, nothing too big.
Mm-hmm.
And she says, if you hurt Clarence again, or if you hurt any of my friends again, I will destroy you with my bare paws. And then just lets him go and like turns around and walks away.
You'll notice that like when you grabbed the skull, that there was already like claws digging in like the jawline, the jaw.
Oh, absolutely. Like there's scratches into the bone, absolutely. From there's like you can see there's this impact crater from a mole. I don't know who would have done that. Like right in the right orbital, just like right up here. That's like slightly cracked one of the gemstones as well. Not the first threat that you all offered, but
Soren is going to come up after Betty, looking at the cracked gem in his face, and just tap it, and it's like, so is this where all of your power comes from then?
Partially. The gemstones are a phylacterial of sorts, but my power stems from a intricate ritual that didn't go quite right. That
Interesting.
sourced quite a bit of the arcane into this singular remnant of myself.
Okay. So you wanna make good, right? And like show a good faith.
Yes, I do.
Um, Soren is going to like his little gecko hands are going to get like grow claws and get very sharp, and like his teeth are going to get razor sharp. I'm casting primal savagery on myself, and I
Yeah.
want to take his good eye.
Okay. It clicks out of the socket with a solid tug.
I'm gonna hold on to this, and if you hurt anybody, I'm cracking it.
Absolutely. And as I also told Clarence moments ago, should you all see it to sink me to the bottom of this ocean or smash me into oblivion, that is your right as well, and I will not stand in the way of that. Not that I
Soren's
can
gonna
stand
turn around and be like, "He's all yours, Clarence," and get to healing.
Argus is gonna.
Betty gets 18 hit points back, and Argus gets 21 hit points back.
Nice.
Just in case he kicks off again now.
Argus is gonna. He hasn't said a word since this whole thing popped off. So he's gonna just, with the skull in hand, walk up to Clarence. Do you trust them?
I do. I also trust for all of you to destroy him, if not also me, if something goes wrong again. I don't want to bring bad into this world, Argus, but I was also inspired by you and your rebranding of the bandits to the mercenaries, where now they can be a force that does something good to this world without necessarily betraying their nature.
Someone always needs a bad guy to keep them ready. You be his bad guy, and he will offer the skull back.
But also, you will destroy us if you need to, right?
If I need to.
Thank you, Argus.
Of course.
Oh, you're muted again.
I don't know what my mic's just not picking me up.
I'm sure your words are
okay.
beautiful.
No, I was just saying, if there's anything anyone else would like to do this evening, I'm going to boost. Nope, can't boost my gain anymore. I'm going to, when we go to break, unplug all this stuff and plug it back in. But if there's anything else anybody would like to do for your characters this evening, please let me know. Okay. Then you all return to your respective quarters. The rain continues to patter down outside, and you all get some rest. I think that's as good a place as any to take our break. Perhaps a little early, but a good story break nonetheless. We'll be back in 10 to 15. Go ahead and do the things, pet your pets, bio and all that fun stuff. When we come back, or maybe even over break, we will do a giveaway for another enamel pin courtesy of Fauna and Flora International. Again, if you are watching, you are fully free to be a part of that giveaway. So it looks like the giveaway is open. Thank you so much, Kaila. As I should also say, right at break here, because I didn't say this at the top, special thank you to Kaila for running tech for today. Very much appreciated. Ava, our other tech person, is out of town, so I always appreciate that Kaila is so wonderful to step in for stuff like this. And a special thank you to Mikyl Sandoval for doing the artwork for this game and many games here on Sword and Key. You should find his stuff. You can, but also should find his stuff on Instagram at MIKYL. It's Michael, but not the way you think. And then Sandoval. It's Sandoval, but Sandoval is the way you spell it. That's the way you find him. You can also find, he has like his own dedicated art channel on our Discord as well. So check that out too. We will do more stuff here about Fauna and Flora when we get back, and we'll do the giveaway and we'll jump back into stuff. So stick around and we'll be back soon. Hail and well met, humble friends. Welcome back to Humblewood Yonderbound. Thank you for sticking around for the break. We're going to jump back into things, but I do want to say, just before we do have a giveaway right now that you can enter in our Twitch chat to win a pin courtesy of Fauna and Flora International. Fauna and Flora International is a wonderful organization based in the UK. If you are willing and able to donate, both those things being important together, it's always appreciated. Do note that because they're in the UK, that there's a bit of conversion from, if you're not using pound sterling, to pound sterling. Yeah, right now they're working towards preservation of a number of ecosystems. I believe they're working in the LA area for the wildfires there. LA was not the only place recently impacted by wildfires. The most recent thing that they sent me was they had a headquarters in Belize that was destroyed by wildfires down there. So they are also raising money to reestablish their foothold there and reestablish their works towards preserving the ecosystem there. But they work in almost any climate and environment you can think of. They work in the oceans, rainforest, desert, coastal, Arctic, and everything in between. So they are always working to protect endangered species, protect endangered biomes, and also help to educate humans, as we sometimes don't realize the impact that we have on the immediate world around us. So all donations are very much appreciated. And like I said, you can enter to win a pin right now for, it's hashtag uppies to enter. So yeah, this will not be the last one. This will be the second to last. We'll have one more pin to give away next episode. Okay, let's jump back into things. So you will find yourselves still aboard the Bedlam Rose, nearing the end of your journey. The storms persist even on what has become a partly sunny day. The rain still beats down. However, the sun has peeked through the clouds a time or two just to give you a few rays of hope as you get ever closer to the Alluran kingdom, the Luzos kingdom. Allurans being the people, the kingdom, or the empire rather, being called the Luzos Empire, and its capital there, Halara. So I will move us back to the other map so you can kind of get an idea of where we are. There we go. As you all near the end of your journey, because you have basically crested all around the Spell Sea into the Tail Sea, and are about to traverse this river system, basically heading southeast into Halara. Anything any of you wanted to do? Okay.
Actually, yes.
Yeah, please.
I would like to inspect this Eye of Cows that I now have.
Sure. Give me an Arcana check.
Okay. Because I am a stone singer, do I get advantage on it?
Remember what Stone Singer does.
It lets me know the properties of rocks, gems, and landscapes.
Sure. I will give you advantage on that then.
Cool. glad I did. Glad I did it because first roll was a 4, second roll was a 19 for a 21.
Fantastic. Just on the surface, talking just rocks are cool. This is a very finely cut ruby. It has this, really shiny mirrored surface to it. The carats on this thing are just through the roof, which makes it also kind of funny that a bunny would have it. I'm just throwing that out there. Oh, Shad didn't even have headphones on for that. Man, that was a good joke too.
Oh,
I'm
yeah,
not
that
repeating
was a really
it.
good joke.
Yeah. You just
I
have to
heard the
rewatch that.
carrots part.
Oh, okay. Okay, good. Aside from that, you can definitely tell that this has arcane properties to it. That this gem has been imbued with arcane magic, not necessarily with a specific spell in the way that some items can be, but with an essence of sorts. And Soren, as you were like looking into this thing, you almost find yourself being hypnotically pulled into it. And through all the facets of this carved gem, you begin to see scenes, narratives, pieces of a life, all through the perspective of someone. You're seeing a point of view perspective, and you're seeing what looks like a major battle between thousands and thousands of humble folk, all dressed in armor, all marching against one another. You see a courtroom that more like a castle court rather than a jury courtroom, but a hall where there are all of these twisted beings that are all seem to be arguing with one another. You see a long road ahead and someone looking down at these big bird feet that are covered in dust and mud. You see a tavern setting, smoke kind of blurring the vision there just slightly as you look to see this very like pleasant looking Luma that is weaving spells with her magic as she plays a bard with this kind of like silverish sort of feathers to her. All of this scenery, all combining into this prism of perspectives, and it takes you a second before you realize like you're seeing through like this red tinted, this rose tinted vision of all of these lives as you're able to pull yourself kind of out of it.
Okay. Won't do that again. He's gonna pocket it, and now having like a little bit more insight on Cal and presumably what Cal has told Clarence. I think Soren's mind is shifting a little bit and understands where Clarence is coming from. So he might let up a little bit.
With a 21, and especially since the Lich mentioned that the eyes have a sort of like they're a phylactery of sorts, and I'm gonna say with a 21, you're not super fluent on undead or Lich magic, but you do kind of piece together that this at least holds a fragment of a soul. It's a fragment of the life essence that was and still somewhat is Caliban Skullspeaker.
You're not gonna talk to me from here, are you? I say that to the stone.
Yeah, you do not hear any response.
Okay, good. And then I put it in my bag.
These are boo.
I don't need that.
I think in the days after the confrontation,
The incident, sure.
the incident with Clarence and Cal, I think Betty probably sticks really close to Bochi to the point where she's like, they're probably sharing a bunk because she doesn't want Mochi to be by herself. Yeah. Nothing specific there. I just kind of want to put that in the space that I think she's just making sure to take really close care of Mochi.
Mochi is still casting Death Ward on Betty every morning.
No.
Like, just say good morning, and that's just Death Ward.
Best part of waking up.
Death Ward in your cup.
Exactly, yes. Okay. The short days pass by. Short in the sense that the amount of daylight you get is short, but also as you near your target, they seem to pass by faster and faster. Um, until a bell rings out on the top deck, and you see the sailors preparing to rig the ship properly for river travel once again. And as you reach the mouth of this river where it reaches the ocean, you can see that there are kind of marking either side of this massive, exchange of water, are these two gargantuan statues, kind of carved somewhat into cliffside, but you notice that like lines in them indicate that they were like additional stone was placed there to add to their size. And these are two giant statues of Allurans, of cat people. One slightly bigger than the other. Different aesthetics to either of them, as one has more of a lion vibe to it, a mighty mane to it. It's a little more sizable than the other, and it reaches out to a sun that actually has a torch set into it, so it almost acts as a sort of pseudo lighthouse as well in the darkness. You can see that the fire blazes despite the rain that beats down. The other one reaches out towards a crescent moon, which itself seems to have some sort of illumination on it. Magical or otherwise, you can't really tell, but it glows not as bright as the moon might, but you can definitely see it from a distance as well. And each of them reaches out in opposite directions towards the sun, towards the moon, to create this almost reverse archway for you all to pass between. And your ship does. And it continues down. Oh, I'm sorry, please.
No, Mochi just wants to, oh god. Is our captain steering the ship, or has he metaphorically chickened out and is someone else at the helm? You're muted, but this time in Zoom.
This time in Zoom. Yes, he is at the helm. He has not chickened out.
Okay. I'd like to skip on over and just go, is this river as bad as the other river?
No, fortunately.
Worse?
Oh, good question. I guess, yes, I would actually do something like that. You're right. No, it's well populated. Many
nice
fishing
things?
Allurans mostly. This is the far extent of their the Luzos Empire, and so you find some not necessarily city folk, but some of the smaller agrarian societies out this far.
Points for you. I didn't think you'd know a word like agrarian. Is
I
there
don't
anything
know what it means.
Yeah. Oh, that tracks. So is there you know what? What I'm going to do is not ask you this question. I'm gonna go find Soren.
Okay.
Bye.
Farewell.
No, still here.
You sure are.
There you go. Gonna go find Soren.
Soren is up in the crow's nest.
Yeah, that's fine. I have a climb speed. Join you in. Sorry. Climb up to almost the crow's nest and then go. No. Privacy. They've been harping on privacy. Knock on the crow's nest.
Mm-hmm.
Hello?
Soren?
Mochi?
Yeah.
Come on up.
Great. Over the edge. Like panda roll in. Okay.
Are you okay?
Yes.
Okay.
Where I saw giant statues of cat people. So we're going to be around cat people. Tell me about the cat people. What do you specifically not say? How do you feel about recreational thievery? You know, the common questions.
The common ones.
When you say recreational thievery,
as opposed to professional thievery, which, you know.
So at the mention of these cats,
Yes.
Soren gets a little. He's not a big fan of gatos. So, well, the Allorans, excuse me, if I call them cats, they get mad.
Oh, that is good to know. Mochi's like taking tiny notes in a little notebook.
They are not the nicest creatures to be around. There are some that are pretty great, but you know,
like attitude wise or scent wise, or because not the greatest is very all encompassing.
It's a little it's hard. It's kind of the they think they are everything and a bag of I don't know the saying anymore. I'm sorry.
Bag of Friskies.
All that in a bag of chips.
They're fancy.
They are pretentious is the word I would say.
Oh.
They are very
Oh, I met lots of pretentious people last time we were traveling.
Yeah, but I don't think they're as bad.
They lived in a really big tree, and some of them were related to me.
Yeah. Excuse me?
Oh, yeah. When this is done, you have to come meet my mom. She got better.
Okay. I think we can make that work.
Yeah. Okay, so
they're
just like avoid, or
it's hard to avoid them because they're literally everywhere. But just be on the bestest behavior because they tend to bite.
Oh. So the recreational thievery, but very carefully.
Yes.
Yes.
Because that happens a lot. You'll see like the little cubs. They'll do it the most.
Perfect. Thank you, Soren.
Hey Mochi, I have a question.
Yes.
Have you talked to Clarence at all since?
Sure, we're planning a honeymoon, and I've been telling them that I like their music, and yeah. We threw fish at one of the fishermen.
Since the incident, you've talked?
Sure. About
Inside
nothing
check?
of importance whatsoever.
Inside check. I'm just something about this is just very questionable. Got a 26.
And I don't have to tell you if I'm rolling deception or persuasion, right?
Nope.
Beautiful.
That is true. Yeah.
That's what someone telling the truth would say.
You're right. So what's going on, babe?
Listen, I'm not lying, but if I were,
yes.
You want to know?
Here's the number.
Do I have to tell you if I'm lying?
You don't have to tell me if you're lying. I'm just trying to figure out some things.
I know. Look, I only got a 22 because I rolled like shit.
All right.
The 22 is rolling like shit.
Hey, a
Trickery
26
cleric.
over here.
I have things I'm good at.
Mochi.
Yes.
You're not being honest.
Yes. Look, I first figured I'd avoid the question, but then I was already talking because sometimes that happens when I'm gonna not say anything, but then I'm suddenly already talking anyway. But I don't know what to say to Clarence because I'm still kind of mad at them, but now about something else, which is awkward.
I mean, I'm a little mad at them still too, but what are you mad at them about now? Because they kept them?
No, that is entirely in line with who Clarence is. that doesn't surprise me, and I've let that go. Um, I heard them talking to Argus after the incident.
Mm-hmm.
And I Clarence isn't just betting their own life, or the entire world for that matter. They're asking Argus, and by extension us, that if this go wrong, we're the ones that have to hurt Clarence.
What? Why would?
If it goes wrong, if Caliban possesses Clarence again, we have to hurt Clarence. And I accidentally hurt Clarence on my first try in getting Caliban off their head, and it was awful, and I don't ever want to feel that way again. But Clarence is making us make that choice, and I think that is one of the worst things Clarence has ever done to me. Or Argus. Or you. Or Betty.
While you are spiraling, Soren grows to grab you and just like hugs you and say, "It's gonna be okay. Don't worry.
I don't want to hurt Clarence, but Clarence...
None of us do. We love Clarence. And I know Clarence knows that. But
Then how can you ask someone you love, hey, if it all goes wrong, you're the one who has to hurt me?
Because they know that if it goes wrong, we're going to try everything to do it the unhurting way first. We're going to try our best not to hurt them. We're going to do everything we can not to first. And if it comes down to it that that's the only option, I don't want to think about it, but I kind of get it. But
I don't know if I could do it. I hurt Clarence by accident. I don't know if I could do it on purpose. And that means that I'm a bad friend, because then I'm not helping them fight Caliban, which means they can't trust me either. And then
you're not a bad friend. That's just because you love Clarence. You wouldn't want to. You don't want to hurt them. But and he goes into his bag and he's like, that's also kind of why I took this, and holds up the gem. It's like, I was.
Oh, you should put that away before I grab it and chuck it in the ocean. I'm having that kind of day.
Okay, I'm just
Week.
gonna hide it.
Month?
But year?
No, probably month.
Month. Okay. I put it back away, but I think it's a little piece of Hal's soul.
No.
Yeah. But if he does get out of line, I feel like this will be a good way of keeping him in line.
And crushing that wouldn't hurt Clarence?
Hope not.
Fair.
It's not attached to Clarence right now.
Well, neither was the skull until it happened.
Oh yeah, that's different. It's okay. I mean...
Oh, I learned the spell you used, so I can do it too now.
Which one?
Protection from evil and good.
Oh, yeah, that's a good one. We're gonna need that.
Yeah.
Yeah, specifically for this.
I added it to my dusk prayers. It seemed to work. And didn't seem to hurt. Because I tried radiant light and that apparently did hurt. And then Clarence went all floppy and their limbs went all over the place, and it was like Caliban had a meat puppet and it was my fault.
That wasn't your fault. It was Caliban's fault. He's bad.
Oh, God. I don't want to talk about this anymore. It's giving me a headache.
It's okay. Let's head down. Let's go get you some water, maybe some food.
Okay. Snack time.
Snacks do fix everything.
That's true. Good point of wisdom there. Okay. Your ship continues to navigate down the somewhat wide river system. It's not long before you start to see some of those fishing communities that Captain Fairweather told you about. You start to see these conical buildings. Mostly seems to be the shape that Allurans build their structures out of. Kind of these pointed roofs more often than not. Smaller communities at first that eventually start to grow and grow as you move along, and before long these smaller communities, you can see the pathways that connect them to these medium-sized communities, to larger-sized communities. Small fishing boats with allurans pull up alongside you. Some of them give you a very cold shoulder sort of response, just floating right alongside your ship, maybe even like pushing their oar off against yours so that you don't necessarily collide, but just like you're in the way. However, it's also not long before you start to see ships much like yours heading in the opposite direction. Trade ships that are passing out of this or down this river, heading back towards the Tail Sea and the Spell Sea to collect more goods or sell the goods that they have collected from Halara. The sailors wave to you as they pass, indicating this is probably a popular route. And every now and then from the shores of this river, you'll see small little Alluran children, their little cat faces and their big bushy paws just waving to you, or they do like this symbol, which is like when we were kids and we would pull up alongside semi trucks in the bus and like do that for them to honk. And Ripper will ring the bell every time they do, and they all clap and cheer and go running off. Um,
If
you know,
Mochi finds out that that's a regular thing, she'd start using thaumaturgy to make it louder.
Fantastic. A couple of boats pull up alongside you and offer up these large baskets of fruit for sale or trade, fresh food that you might not have had for a little while at least. And the crew absolutely they toss down coins and the fruit is brought aboard. Um, but still it rains. Still that storm persists, hanging on for weeks now. You pass by other communities of hedges, different perhaps than the hedges you might have had back home. These are similar to the ship's doctor, the ship's surgeon. They're Arma hedges, is what they're classified as. So we're talking pangolins, armadillos, that sort of thing. Um, More than that, you see some other tilia, a little more cosmopolitan than maybe Soren, whose people are much more out into the jungle. And you see some of the goat people, you see some bird people as well, and a new type of people that you haven't encountered yet, somewhat similar to Soren, but their color vibrancy is a little bit different, and their skin texture a little bit squishier. These are Pexians, and appear much more like axolotl type people.
You say
Um,
squishier?
yes, in fact, the
Do they
Pexians.
squelch when they walk, or are we poking them?
That's awful. So
That's
the
why I
They're a
asked.
little slimy.
Both options are
Pexians
awful.
have
That's why I have to know.
they have an ability called soft body. Your pliable body can fit into places most others can't. You can fit through an opening as narrow as 1 foot wide without squeezing.
Oh my gosh.
Ah, it's like my Amiiboy character. Amazing.
Very much, yes. They are.
Yeah.
They got squishy bones. They got them squishy bones.
Perfect.
Um, but you do see that some communities are primarily Alluran, some primarily Tilian. Then as you get closer and closer to the Empire, more and more you start to see this mixture, this melting pot of all these various type peoples. And another day or so passes before you are well within sight of what must be the far reaches of the capital itself, a sprawling capital. It must be, as statues begin to be placed alongside the river, and larger structures, larger conical structures, temples, you might think, or military installations just by the size of them. You begin to see along the pathways that line either side of this wide river. You begin to see much more people moving about, carts and beasts of burden, and even military people. Some dressed in armor, carrying pole arms and shields. Um, Anything anybody want to do before you finally reach the capital? Yeah. Christian.
With all the letters I've been getting from this pirate captain, has there been an insignia, like a seal?
Yeah, so I want to say that there's what I've said before is there's been a wax seal that
Mm-hmm.
indicates his symbol is very much your Jolly Roger crossbones, but a parrot skull,
Mm-hmm.
where the typical human skull would be, and that's what Balthazar has been using as kind of his insignia. Yeah,
Have I seen, now that we're here, have I seen anything flying that flag or
yeah. Go ahead and
in?
give me a perception check.
I will ask Lorelai and Ferdinand to do the same,
Sure.
to be on alert for that as well, so they can roll, I guess. Give us some more chances. Perception. That's a dirty 20.
Fantastic. Looking around, you can definitely see that some of the ships that pass by fly different colors. There's a couple that you might have recognized from the Saltar's port in Humblewood. Some you definitely don't recognize. But what you're not seeing a lot of are like brigand kind of colors. You're not seeing any of the colors of any of the bandits that have ever reached out to you. You're not seeing any of the colors of those that served you before, and you're not seeing any pirate flags flying. Maybe they're hiding. There's plenty of pirates that will hide their colors until it's time to strike. But this also seems like maybe not the most opportune place to raid, uh, considering just the population level and kind of how trapped you otherwise would be in
Right.
this space. So nothing along the river, but we can carry that forward as you get to Halara as well,
Mm-hmm.
and have Lorelei keep an eye out and Ferdinand keep an eye out.
Yeah, because I know once we reach land and once we sit down, I do want them to start scouting ahead of us and
Absolutely.
looking around for any sign of the party that my wife had with them or her in general.
Mm-hmm.
So
Speaking of Ferdinand, some time has passed. We are probably just a couple of days away, I would estimate, from his. Well, what did I say? I said it would be about a week and a half. So you probably have a
left.
little bit more time.
2.5 weeks left.
Yes, because you do have him for 30 days, right?
yes, mm-hmm.
Okay, good. I'm glad, Anniek, you are keeping track of that. Thank you. Okay, then yes,
Look,
he
I have
is.
one pet, and I will make this last.
And,
You
and I
do.
will say, I'm not like treating him like a prisoner anytime we interact or speak. If
Mhm.
when it's mealtime, I'll help. I'll give him a good portion. I'm not giving him like bare minimum
Mhm.
minimum wage. I'm paying him what he is worth, in
Good
respect
to know.
and in charge. So,
Second chances all around. Look at you
yeah,
guys. Doing
yeah.
great. Okay, so with that, then the empire before you. It's tough to say where the edge of the empire officially is, right? It's one of those things where where does a city end and the suburbs begin? We have highways now and we kind of have some semblance of borders, but at some point as the buildings get bigger and bigger and the population grows and grows, you can only define city limits in arbitrary ways. And as you reach officially probably what the city of Halara is, you encounter two more gargantuan statues similar to the ones before, however, this time somehow even larger than the gargantuan ones you had encountered. The sun and moon just probably as large as your ship on these colossi that mark the archway that now face each other into Halara itself. And you encounter this large semicircle dock port that you can see just more ships than you can immediately count on your hand are docked, are moving about. There are small ships moving about as well. There's insects flying all about, and even the murmur and smell of the city hits you from where you are here. The the smell of smoke and cooking, the murmur of bells ringing and of voices chattering, of music playing, and at the center of this semicircle kind of port, you see a great tree, similar in size almost to the Alderheart. Perhaps not as tall, but most certainly, well, maybe about half as wide as well. It doesn't look like it's lived in, but it does look to be a centerpiece of this empire's focus. That all ships must sail around it. It has these arcing roots that come out from it into the water itself without any clear sign of land that it's actually sitting upon, rising out of this port. And all about, you can see these conical buildings, people all milling about. Far off to your left, you can see a rather large conical building. Perhaps that is a palace of sorts, as the roof is domed in what looks like a gold plating. And your ship reefs the sails and slows as it pulls into port, coming to an official docking place for the first time in weeks since you sailed from Salter's Port. The boardwalk is lowered onto the dock, and as the sailors make sure to tie everything down and make the ship ready for port, Captain Fairweather comes to you all with a slight bow. Our contract complete. Well, actually, I can't remember if you hired me for the way back. Regardless, we can make sure that happens. However, let it never be said that Captain Fairweather cannot usher you through the most dangerous of dangers, the most trying of trials, the most perilous of perils, on to from A to B. And here you be in the capital, Halara. I wrote that down.
It sounded amazing.
Yeah, that was pretty good, actually.
So you're going to pay me now, or?
Way back, I think, was the deal.
Ah, yes, excellent. Well, it has been a fair bit of time since I have graced this wonderful city, but I hope you find yourselves finding nothing but friendly faces and open palms. Although the palms do have claws, well, the fingers have claws here, so do be aware of that. It's not like it's just, you have to kind of, shaking hands is one of those things, you really got to be intentional about it.
And I'm sure you'll have several more stories to tell with this adventure than any before it.
Yes, absolutely. I gather adventures as a metaphor.
Sure. I just, as the advisor in all things clerical to the new king of mercenaries, I just need to point out to you that bailing you out of prison before you can go on the way back is not included in the price. That would be coming from your own coffers.
I will do my best to not be arrested, and I hope you all do the same.
Also,
I will try. I make no promises.
Any medical provisions that you may need while you are here, that is also on your own dime. So if you get eaten, loss of limb, that is not on us.
Yes, all normal contract things, of course. Yes, do be aware of the loose cash. They have a keen eye, so make sure to keep your hands to yourselves.
Right back at you, buddy.
I have wings.
Any other?
Any other important warnings you feel like we need?
Well, I can give you some references as someone who's visited before. If you're looking for a good meal and firm drink that's close to port, I recommend the Sun Song. If you're looking to outfit yourselves for preparation for some sort of fight, I recommend the Silver Moon Smith. And if you're looking just for some general goods, there's nothing better than a general store. And my personal favorite is the Salt and Steel. And you can tell them that Fairweather sent you. They'll give you a discount, maybe. And, well, if you're looking to join any sort of guild or whatnot, or perhaps even for a local guide or small army to assist you. There's none better in this city than the Blue Rose Companions.
I'm sorry, can you repeat that first one? I was grabbing my notebook and wasn't writing yet.
Oh, of course. The Sun Song, a local tavern. Yes, wonderful proprietors. They will make sure that your bellies are full of food and drink, and your ears are full of song, and your pockets are empty when you leave.
Oh, I don't like that last one.
Well, it's because you're paying them. They're not stealing from you. It's trying to make it as a rule of three sort of thing.
Yes, got it.
Yes.
Okay. Would you like have to enter the party? Do we have any other questions for the captain, or can we get into an actual city for the first time in weeks and weeks and weeks?
I think we can let the captain go from our chaos for a little bit.
Then I bid you all bye.
See you soon.
Sweet farewell would have been a better one, Cap.
Sure, that too. Ripper with me. And the big, Wolverine, both, I guess, in attitude and appearance, kind of moves by and goes, yeah, just, keep safe and all that, and we'll see you on the way back. Everything's gonna be fine. I'm sure you're very capable individuals. You've done a whole bunch. I mean, that Lich thing, I was watching the whole time. That was real good. So, you need anything, you'll be good. You'll be fine. Okay, bye then.
I like to think that, over the course of the adventure, we've been able to understand him more and more because we've just gotten used to it. So
it is 100% a Boomhauer situation. Yes,
totally a Boomhauer situation.
It's a real Boomhauer.
Like, what the hell? It's gibberish. You're like, no, he's saying words.
Yeah, he's saying words.
Daggone man, I tell you what, man. Okay. As you all clack and otherwise down the boardwalk, I was trying to think of what bird feet would do that isn't click-clacking, but then Argus is also a big boy, so I didn't want to say stomping. As you all make your way down the boardwalk, you find your feet soon touching sand as Halara seems to be this beautiful kind of white golden sand coast that all the piers kind of go into. There are stands and tents built up all over the place that are selling fragrant foods and a number of fine goods that seem to be just pulled off these ships, trying to sell whatever they can. Some of them trying to unload goods in the cheapest, quickest way so they can make for home. Some of them just, we need to get rid of this quick. Looking further into the city, you can see that there are stone roads, cobblestone roads that have been placed all about, and just a massive populace, all moving about, all chattering to each other. Many, many Allurans, but also an abundance of Tilia and again, Pexians, and several folk that you might recognize from home. The Hedges as well, but definitely the Corvums. And one thing that I think might hit you the most is that there are Mapok here, but they don't look like Mochi. And they don't look like, any of the possum or raccoon folk. Mapok in this region all appear as red pandas. So they all have kind of red fur and these big bushy tails. And some of them, it's just for a second, it's like if Mochi had dyed her fur, that's what it would look like. But it's all this kind of vibrant crimson all moving about. But yes, there are Caprins, Mustals, which are the Badger Wolverine folk. Caprins are the goat people. Uskogs, boar people. You see servants, but their horns are much sleeker, and they don't have the wide kind of moose or elk horns to them. Yeah, and then raptors, lumas, whole bunch of folk. Quaqua moving about. Yeah.
I think when Mochi sees the red pandas, she's just gonna go, I have to. I was like, okay, just give me 6 seconds. Stop dead in the center of the boardwalk. Cast Disguise Self. Dye her hair. Red panda. She goes,
Okay.
how do I look?
Good look, Moch.
I feel so exotic.
Wow.
Look good.
Feel cool.
Yeah. Oh, we're keeping this.
How does disguise self work in that way? Like if someone were to reach out and touch it, like would it kind of like pass through the illusion and you would see your natural color underneath, or
No, you'd have to make a save to see if you can perceive her as she would be.
I see.
Like if you add a hat or something, and someone wants to touch the hat, they'd go through. But because she's changing the color of fur she already has, it's hard. Like you can't pass through her fur because her fur is real.
Right. I see.
She's just changing the color.
Interesting.
Yeah, this is probably the most successful. Like in general, you're not changing your height, you're not changing your overall appearance. It's just the coloration of the fur. So yeah, I think more than anything that would be. Like no one's going to want to do an investigation check. You look like any of the other Mapok around here.
She keeps looking at her arms.
The second that Soren touches the sand, like and gets his little toe beans in there, he dives in like Scrooge McDuck, and you just see him like you don't even see him. You see kind of like just a little burrow of the sand moving around, and he's just swimming through the sand right now. He is so happy to be home.
Fantastic.
Great.
Okay, so Argus, where are we going? Cause we gotta stop by and get your wife before we get to Soren's sister.
Remind me what the letter said. The last letter of this taunting bastard. What did he say? The last.
Yeah, I believe the last letter indicated that he was aware you had kind of cut some time, because I believe the last letter that you got was before you even like made for the ocean. I don't believe you've gotten.
No, the last letter I got was at the bandit. The pirate cove.
Pirate Cove.
Right. Yeah. Before. Yeah.
The one we exploded.
The one that got nuked.
So
it was an accident. We didn't count.
He did tell you that he would meet you as long as you had brought the item that he was looking for. I can't remember the exact wording, but I believe he told you that you were expected to meet at the town of Wayfair, which you all have seen maps at this point. Wayfair is still within the boundaries of the Empire, but is firmly within the jungle itself.
Yeah. We're going to Wayfair. So we pick up supplies here, drink, rest if we need to, then we head out. Maybe look for a guide. Oh, wait, no.
She just points at Soren and goes...
Yeah, look over at Soren, yeah.
Hey, what am I? Huh?
Busy playing in the sand. Are you good?
Yeah, I'm great. I'm sorry.
Don't shake, or I will get fur. I will get sand in my feathers, and it has been a nightmare already.
Oh, sorry.
Yes.
The captain told us about a smith and a store and an inn and where to rent an army, which I didn't know that was an option, and we're going to have to talk about it later because I'm interested. Is there like a barber? I think we would call a groomer or someone to help me de-shed a little bit because I look glorious, but I'm still poofy.
A spa.
A spa! Do we have a spa? Please.
Oh, a spa day?
Beach day.
Spa day, please. It's still coming out in clumps, even though it's ginger now.
Does fur change color when it falls off of her body?
Yes.
Like, does the disguise self not translate to
Yeah.
I shed black. And gray and white.
Okay. Okay.
Derek's like, I finally have them on track with the main plot again.
No, you
Well,
want
We've
to
been-
spot
no,
egg
we-
this?
We've
We've
had a
been
hot
talking-
spring
You can have spot egg,
episode.
I guess.
we've had a
We've
time.
had
talking
a hot
about-
Springs episode
Yeah.
in season
It's
1.
episode 11 of
So
12.
now we
yeah,
have
no, you
to
guys
have a
got
beach
plenty.
episode.
It's the Lazy Sunday Club.
We've been talking about how badly we've been shedding for 11 episodes.
That's right. It's a story like we don't want to leave this plot hole. Like people
Exactly.
We just gotta wrap this up.
And
Okay?
People are gonna-
will
no,
Mochi
we're gonna
get
get-
groomed. Get her a brush.
All
We're
right.
gonna get write-ins. People are gonna be upset that Clarence made a deal with the skull, but is still looking like they're molting. It's
Yeah, fortunately, the Allurans created the Furminator, so
Solid.
I feel like the Allurans do have a bathhouse of sorts, a spa that we could go to. Feel free to give me a name of sorts.
yes. So the moon pools are a spa, hot bath sort of situation. You're in an empire. Of course, there's going to be bathhouses.
Is this close to
besides the
calling it the watering hole? The moon pool is way better.
besides the fact that what do you call it? Like people always talk about how like house cats hate the water and everything, but then like leopards love swimming. Jaguars they're like very avid swimmers. So and they live near the water. They swim.
tigers soak in hot pools.
Tigers. A lot of big cats love water.
Big cat.
So, the moon pools and baths are available to you.
Oh, we take you guys to the moon pools, and I think that would be really good and just like grabs a clump of the fur that is just like coming off of Mochi.
I know, right? And
Yeah.
everything's still damp here because the rain.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that would be good. So I start to take them.
I didn't want to say anything with the restaurant, but even Argus is still a little.
It's a weather change. Come on, it's okay.
That's why we're getting help.
So yeah, take everybody to the moon pools. I would, it feels like it would be nice. Beach
Get
episode.
terminated.
But before that question, just to return to the main plot for a second.
How dare you?
for a second, for a moment, guys. Don't,
Okay,
Please.
Oh, for a moment, hold on.
How
Give
dare
me a
you.
second, everybody. Jesus.
In trying to track like how much time they had ahead of us, the shortcut cut 2 weeks off.
Did cut 2 weeks off of essentially a 3-week head start.
And how long would it take us to get to where we need to go? Like a week?
To get to Wayfair, it's you're essentially a week behind. To get to Wayfair would take only a couple of days.
Okay. All right.
So essentially, like you've cut a whole bunch of time. The idea being that they're not going to expect you this early.
Okay, that's okay. I just want to get a reminder of the time frame of like how much time we cut / when if they're going to be ready for us if we get there.
So they still got there a week ahead of when you did, but they've
Yes.
also just been sitting in one place. They stopped moving, which has allowed you to clean that distance up.
Gotcha. Okay. Cool. All right, everybody, we can goof off now. Let's go. Woo!
We need a spa episode. It happened last season. We need it in this season.
Yeah.
Also, Mochi had a hard few weeks, okay?
This is rough.
This is very true. We need a bonding
Sword.
moment now.
Sorry, give me a history or survival check to see if you can navigate to where the moon pools are.
Survival it is. 27.
Right. History would be like you remember the road names. Survival is you remember the landmarks. So
That's
as you're
100% Soren.
yeah, absolutely. Like he's not reading the street signs. No.
The streets.
Oh.
So you're like, oh, I remember the crack in that piece of pavement here. So that means we need to turn left, then right. And then there's the market that shouts about oranges all day. So we need
Soren
to
really
turn
is me.
around. And then there's the cabbage man. And then that means that's north. So, oh, we're here. And
Yep.
As you've passed by a whole bunch, there's carts moving about the streets again, cobblestone streets. You've seen that there are those large beasts of burden, much like Buttercup. You've also seen that there are large reptiles as well. That Soren you would know are Tythrans, which are sometimes predatory in the wild, but they're also pretty big. So sometimes people tame them and use them to haul things around. They often wear muzzles when they're in the city. But you find yourself at this rather large white stone building, again set conically to have the point on top and kind of a round exterior to it. And on the outside, you can see that there is a moon symbol, and it says Halaran Moon Pools and Baths.
We made it.
Thank you, Soren.
Try my best.
Going inside, you would see a kind of a small counter made of, again, that same type of white stone. It's very clean and white in here, and you can smell the scent of bath salts, and like the humidity hits you all at once. Mochi, maybe not to the most pleasant effect for you. Nevertheless, you can see that there is an Alurin, a little bit smaller. She has kind of silverish, even almost purplish at the very root type fur with these very vibrant green eyes. And she crosses her paws as you all walk in. Hello, hello. Welcome to the Moon Pools and Baths. You all seem to be not from around here, but also in need of our services. How may I assist you?
Well, most of us, it's just sort of, Well, most of us need like help with our floof. We need to be defloofed. And then Soren is already defloofed, so I guess like a scrub or something. Do you scrub? Because you like sand, right?
Oh yeah, I need a
Sand scrub.
shed. I'm due for a
Yeah.
shed. I'm
Yes,
in blue.
salt scrub, sugar scrub. We have these. Yes, yes. Okay.
That's it. Just floofing, defloofing.
Well, I assume you do not have our currency, but we do have a way of exchanging things. Do you have silver?
I have gold.
Yes.
Oh, gold. Fantastic. Works as well. It will be let's see, there are 5 of you, yes? So um I will need, well, 3 gold, and I will give you a silver in return.
Mochi leans over to Soren. Is that a good deal? Are we getting? Is that good? Bad? Is that like?
It's really good actually. It's you're not getting
Sounds good.
Okay. Towels are provided on the benches inside. Please be considerate of other space, and if you find yourself, how do I want to put this? If you see the things floating off of you, make sure that you don't let it touch other people.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Yeah, sure.
You'll all look filth-ridden.
It was winter for like a lot of years, and then suddenly it was summer, and then before we could get into summer coats, we went on a boat, and then we exploded a cove, and then we went back on the boat, and then we ran from a Tyrannosaurus Rex with feathers, and then we had to go back on the boat again. So yes, we've been like washing with seawater and some of the water I create. But I have this really nice soap, but it keeps going missing. I think Lorelai's taking it.
Okay, we're just gonna move on. It's just
Just
gonna
She picked up a
around
book
Mochi.
halfway through and has been reading it.
yeah. Just gonna push Mochi.
You're still here. My name is Kaya. If you need anything, but
You're still here. It's
the
crazy.
doorway.
Yeah, we're going. It just
You walk
push.
through doorways. I'm not sure if you have them where you're from.
I
Magical. Thank you, Taya.
told you they're a little pretentious.
No, I get it. They don't care.
They do not care.
They do not care.
If your teeth are not sharp, they don't care.
My teeth are sharp.
I need sharper teeth. Okay.
Oh no.
Time to get the
We can
file.
get-
No.
I can make your teeth sharper, Clarence. Wait, are we allowed?
Go ahead.
No, Mochi was just wondering how much magic is allowed into pools, but let's focus on de-shedding first.
I can't wait for those signs. No diving, no running around the pool, no magic in the pools.
No diving, no running, no polymorph.
Magic is like farts. Keep them to yourself.
Clarence, I'm
If
sure
you do it
with
in the pool,
consent.
make sure you blame it on the kid. So you all walk through into the secondary room where there's a long table laid out, and there are two larger moon allurans that are dressed in these simple kind of white and gray robes. You may place all of your things on the table. We may make sure that they are locked up appropriately. And if you would like for an additional slight fee, we could also make sure that everything is clean and repaired.
How much of a fee?
An additional silver.
Deal.
So Clarence, I
Best
have
silver
to
I've
ask,
ever spent.
Clarence, are you bringing the skull with you?
Oh.
And is there anything you're holding on to in particular?
I guess Clarence kind of like scoots over to like one of the moon alluring. Can I bring the skull with me?
I wish I could say this was the first time I was asked this, but it is not. You may keep the skull with you.
Oh,
It is family?
we're just really close.
Okay, then.
Again, that's not the first time they've heard that.
It's a bunch of cat people. I mean, I have to imagine that in the Humblewood world, somebody going, "Can I take this bone into the bath with me?" is not an
Yeah.
unheard of question.
It's not
Like
weird.
bringing
It's
a
not
snack.
weird.
Okay. Well, thank you. I appreciate it. Do you need music performed here? Because I can also bring my lute with me, and I can perform some calming music for everybody.
No, thank you.
Okay.
The atmosphere is provided, and we
Yeah.
don't need any additions.
Oh, okay, great. I'm very excited to see your atmosphere.
Okay.
These service workers do.
Is anyone else holding on to anything in particular?
The only thing that Betty is going to keep out of her inventory is she has an ear cuff. She's going to keep on. So, as they kind of go through into the pools, if you're paying attention to her at all, you'd see her tap it twice, and that's it. Yeah.
Interesting. Mochi will keep both necklaces on.
Argus will keep his bracelet.
Yeah.
For obvious reasons.
Wait. Can Caliban see us naked now?
Could he not before? Is the question.
Ew! Clarence!
Well, I
Your patron is peeping on us.
Oh, I'm
Not a peeping
sorry.
patron.
Technically,
looking at anything.
isn't your god also looking at us?
All the
Yeah.
time.
Yeah,
Wait,
but that's
all
not
the time.
because
Oh,
of
that's
me.
fair.
That's not because of me. That's just what
That's just what gods do.
that's just what gods do.
That doesn't make it better.
Half
Listen,
could see
when
you
you get enough
naked
magical
even if
power,
I
you see
wasn't
everybody
around.
naked, and it
Yeah.
gets old after a while.
Oh,
Can you blindfold a skull?
I'll just give him like a little turban that we can pull down over his eyes if it really makes you feel better.
Just wrap him up in a towel. Just kinda...
There's a
so
there's a
cute.
boner joke here somewhere.
Can we make it?
Please,
Oh, no.
let's not get educational tag because we tell people about the penis bone.
Yeah.
Sword is bringing his staff because I believe Bud also deserves a bath.
Oh yeah, of course. Great. Lorelei, I presume, has been along with you. If you would like to send her off to do something else, she absolutely will. Ferdinand can be with you, or they can be looking out for any signs of pirate stuff. So I leave that to you guys.
Is Ferdinand good at buying things? We can send
He's
him on
as good as
send
Argus
him
will
on a
tell him to
run.
be.
Is Ferdinand good at anything?
I don't think so.
Good at organizing.
I mean, we dethroned him pretty handily.
True. But he's apparently very persuasive, so.
Can you send him to get like our stuff for when we have to leave the city? Like supplies
of
and things?
Yeah.
Would you be down for a supply run?
I can do
Okay.
that.
Anything?
I haven't been as filthy as all of you.
Well, if you're up to the task and think you can get us the best rates,
I will do my utmost.
I appreciate that. Is Lorelei just like already in the bath, just chilling?
Yeah, she's like she dropped way too many daggers on the table and just like not weird about nudity at all. Just like threw the cloak back.
It's like almost like Argus was gonna ask them to join, and then like they just see they're already like relaxing, like already have cucumbers in their eyes, just like taking
Yeah,
it.
she also like wasn't paid for at all. Like there was just the five.
Just appeared, attendant on each paw.
Yeah, just like already good. So he's like, yeah, if by the time you're done, find your way back here, take a bath, do what you can.
Sounds like a plan.
Tap him on the shoulder and get in the bath.
Yeah.
Hey, the last time we were here, we were in a almost like a graveyard situation too.
Yeah,
it was a hot spring graveyard. Yeah, it was.
This one's
It'll
clean
step
and
up.
sanitary.
no skeletons other than what Clarence brought in from the outside.
No skeletons.
Still bones here.
Still bones here.
So terrifying.
You all get into the baths. The water here is properly salted. Not too much, not too little. There's a wonderful kind of aroma that extends out from it. There's incense also burning all about. And every now and then, one of the Allurin attendants will like wave this major fan just to keep things kind of circulating about. This big kind of handheld fan. Caliban's skull floats idly in the water, just kind of moving about. The rest of you soak right in, and it soothes your joints well. If you haven't already long rested, please long rest at this point. Not that anything's necessarily going to happen, just this is definitely long rest time. Yeah, this is nice. It's a lack of movement. There is water, and yet you are not in motion. And all of that wear and tear of the road and the seas and the conflicts all about just seem to slowly dissipate into the water around you. And you can see that there's a couple other beings in here as well, sticking to their corners, their kind of their other sides. A couple of Gerbine that are chatting about something. A couple of Allurans as well. There's a Pexian that's kind of just like floating dead center, just with their eyes like right at the water line, just blinking sideways from time to time.
In the same pool as we are?
Yeah, bit like massive kind of singular. Yeah. Yeah, it'd be really weird if it was like a hot tub and then there's just like one person in the middle.
Yeah. Just keep grabbing my bits of fluff until there's no more fluff to fluff.
So cute.
I feel so sleek.
And yes, you all maybe give Mochi a little bit of space as all those tufts of fur, just like little mochis all floating about.
Finally. Yeah.
Like Ghibli dust sprites. They all just
perfect.
Okay. As you all let the rest take hold, and find some relaxation before the next stage of your journey, finally reaching Halara, having sent Ferdinand out for supplies, and having the rest of your belongings polished and repaired and made anew. I think that's a good place for us to stop today. Not on a cliffhanger, but on the firmest of ground. Yeah, I'm not gonna. I thought about doing a final drop there. That'd be so mean. And then everything explodes. Thank you for joining us for another episode of Humblewood Yonderbound. I am Derek Sword. I've been your GM for this game. I use he and pronouns. Sword is my real last name. Yes, it's awesome. No, you can't have it. I am going to have these lovely people say a little bit more about themselves and where you can find them. I highly recommend that you do, because these are all incredible people, incredible performers, and you can't go wrong casting them in your things or supporting them in their artistic endeavors. So please consider doing that. As always, this game is in support of Fauna and Flora International. Thank you to those who have been able to donate. I totally get if donating is not something that some folks can manage at this point. Your viewership is always appreciated, and if nothing else, boosting the signal and the message of Fauna and Flora International is always very much appreciated as well. Let's go ahead and, as we wrap up here, we'll finalize our giveaway. So you still have a chance, until it gets back to me, you have a chance to put in, hashtag uppies, to enter to win a pin from Fauna and Flora International. So, that said, let's go ahead and go around. Shadow, where can we find more of your lovely self?
Muted.
Yeah, I think you're.
Oh no, I'm hard muted. Okay.
There we go.
Sorry. Yeah. Hi. Yeah, you can find me everywhere relevant at Shadow Sylvia. I am also a admin over at Roll D5. And tomorrow, though it's a little up in the air, but potentially tomorrow at 7 p.m. Central Time, I'll be running a game of Flabbergasted. It's cozy month over there, so it'll be a cozy little setting. We'll be in like a nice little mansion, and warm fireplaces, and just some ghost fists casually chilling. Don't worry about it. It's fun. And I think that's all of my projects that are out currently. But you can always check out Gate Night here on Tuesdays, where I join Derek and the lead game, and we play Baldur's Gate 3. And it's totally cute and adorable, and nothing weird ever happens, ever.
I'm muted. Okay, thanks for lying, Shadow. That's wonderful. Yeah, totally nothing weird happens in Baldur's Gate 3 is the biggest lie I've ever heard. But it is a good time. You should check that out. Next, we have Liz.
Hi, friends. I'm Liz. I have been Betty. I will continue to be Betty for the foreseeable future, thank goodness. I don't have anything that I'm doing right now. It's very quiet in my realm. But I'm here every Sunday, so this is where you can find me currently for the next few, however long it takes before we finish this season of Humblewood. That was only supposed to be 12 episodes. So, yeah.
It'll only be a few over.
Yeah.
It'll be all right.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, Liz. Please check out Liz's TTRPGs that they write as well. itch.io, whatever, it's in the chat. Check out all the solo TTRPGs, journaling TTRPGs that Liz has put out there. Some really incredible, thought-provoking, story building kind of games that I think are very unique. And if you like just story composition and prompts that make you think, you're guaranteed to find something great.
Stop saying nice things about me.
No, you can't stop me. I can only stop myself when I mute myself. Queon, you're up next.
Hello, you beautiful people. I am Queon. I go by Brother Queon across all of the internets. That is BRUTHAQUEON. And I was soaring today. I love this little guy so much, and he's home. Finally, off that dang boat. But no, if you enjoyed what I do here, you can catch me over on Wednesday at Game Master Mondays doing a little I feel so bad because I just realized that Shadow's like, oh, my heart. playing in Castaways, where we just kicked off 2 people last session, and I wasn't there. And I feel so bad. But yeah, other than that, you can catch me GMing over at Batty Bars for World Replica premiering in February. I will also be at WonderCon this year, so if you see me around, say hi. And last but not least, because of anxiety of these fires that were popping up all around my house yesterday, like last week, it was terrifying. I have postponed the release of the Plot Armory to the 1st of February as well, and that's just because I need to not be in an anxiety-filled attack. That was far too much for me. So yeah, other than that, pray for California.
Absolutely. Yeah, I don't think we've said it enough around here. We obviously we raise money for a number of great causes around here, but there will always be more than any one channel or person can necessarily accommodate to. So yes, please remember the people in California. If you have some extra bucks sitting around, we don't have any pallets or anything attached to it, but there's a lot of great organizations out there that are working to help the folks out there. And chances are, if you live in the U.S., you probably have somebody from your local fire department who is out there right now as well. So make sure you support your local fire departments. Next up, we have Anniek.
Anniek, I go by she, they pronouns, and I'm here on Sundays as Mochi. After Humblewood, whenever that may be, I am still here on Sundays because then I get to be the DM again. And after Humblewood, we're doing Mothership, which is sci-fi horror. And then after Mothership, we're doing Tales from the Loop, which is not really horror, but still a little bit horror, but more like weird 80s kids in a parallel universe with machines that are kind of but not really sentient horror. It'll be a good time. We will be looking for a few people to join those casts, so keep an eye on the Sword and Key socials, which is where the casting forms go up first. And other than that, nothing I'm planning has like a date or people yet, so stay tuned.
Yeah, we'll have a number of applications out here real soon. So yeah, like Anniek was saying, our socials will have them as well as our Discord. Discord's going to be the number one place. So if you want to step up above everybody else, check out the Discord first. I'll talk about that here in a second. But before that, Christian, please, where can we find more of your lovely self?
Hey everybody, hi, my name is Christian, aka Fluffy Goomba, all over the internet. I'm a teacher, RPG performer, educator, and event coordinator here in the space. You can find me all over the internet as a Fluffy Goomba. My link tree has all the games I've been in, all the games I'm in, and I'm there's no Tragic Theologian today. It's next week. That's the Greek myth inspired 5e campaign I'm in. But that's happening next week. We're in Hades. That's fun. And my shadow got stolen, so by Hades, so I had to go get it back. It's great. It's good times.
Good times. Jeez. Yeah, I have checked out a number of episodes of that. That is a very fun game. Especially if you even like if you love Greek mythology, you're absolutely gonna love it. If you're tangentially aware of Greek mythology, you're going to love it. So highly recommend checking out that game. Thank you to these wonderful people. Again, thank you to you in the audience. It looks like we have hit our 500-pound goal for Fawn and Flora International. We're only going to raise that, but thank you so much. That is an amazing amount to go towards an amazing cause that is really important in this world today. So there's so many cute and even not cute animals. Even the not cute ones deserve to live. You know, I know it's a hot take, but I'm gonna say it. Goblin sharks, I'm looking at you. I'm not looking at you for very long, but I'm looking at you right now. You're doing great. You're doing a great job. Yeah, thank you so much for your donations. Again, sharing Fauna and Flora International's message. Watching this, it's all appreciated, and knowing that because I talk to people at Fauna and Flora International, it's appreciated by them as well. So yeah, please check out their website, buy some merch. And we'll do that giveaway here shortly for that, or we'll end the giveaway here shortly for that pin. So as soon as Kaila lets me know, I'll announce here a winner. Cool. So other things. Why did my brain suddenly go blank? We will not be playing next week. We're taking next week off for Humblewood. We'll be back the week after that. And looking at our calendar, actually, before I even do the calendar, you can find all of Sword and Key stuff at beacons.ai/Sword and Key. You can find all of our socials there. That's Blue Sky, Instagram, and Twitter. All of those have underscores between the words. So sword_and_key. YouTube.com/@Sword and Key, all one word. You can find all of our older episodes. Obviously, we stream live here on Twitch. Also, the Beacons has our Discord link. You can join our Discord, be part of our community. We would love for you to be a part of it. There's no prerequisites. You just have to be a half decent person. It's really not as hard as it sounds. But we would love to have you be part of our community and apply to play in games and chat about the games that are actually playing, or share photos of your pets, or talk about video games, or really whatever you want. We have some really great folks around that like share recipes and song recommendations, and it's nice. It's nice hanging out. I know a lot of people have like way too many Discords, so it's do your thing, whatever that happens to be. But we will have some applications out in the near future. Again, our Discord's the first place that those go. Socials will be second. Going back to our beacons, you can also find the links to all of our ongoing philanthropic endeavors, like PCRF, Palestine Children's Relief Fund, NAMI, National Alliance for Mental Illness, Canine Campaigns for Independence, and what we raise money for here, Fauna and Flora International. You can also see our affiliate ships, including Wishbone Cosmetics for a UK-based queer-owned vegan cosmetic brand. There is also Eldritch Foundry for custom minis, and then there is also Hit Point Press. You know, the ones that make Griffin Saddlebag Book 2 and Book 1, but Book 1 was sold out. And Humblewood Tales, which is the extension to Humblewood that has all of the one-shots in it, as well as like stat blocks and items. Several of the items these characters actually have on them. And of course, the original Humblewood. And if you're looking just for the base thing, one of my favorite things about Humblewood Tales is it basically gives a city guide to the Alderheart. So if you just wanted to run an entire game just within the Alderheart, it gives you like everything you'd ever need to know about inner city politics, how it was built, and like even like the marketplace, just everything you need to know, plus actual modules to run it and figure it out. So it's really, really fun, really neat, really cool. Yeah, and then you can find all of our other links to everything else on Beacons. You can also find links to the podcast Monster Crush, which is a podcast that I record with my friend LD. We talk about different cryptids, creatures, and miscellaneous monsters from myth and how smoochable they are. We are on a bit of a hiatus right now. We're coming back in February for the month of love, because we love monsters. But you can still catch up on our previous episodes and listen to our most recent episode, which was a holiday episode right before the new year, about Krampus and some other holiday spirits of naughtiness. Other things you can, I don't know, see all that stuff. Calendar, that's probably where I was going with that. Let's see, today is the 19th, so on Tuesday, as Shadow was mentioning, we are playing Gate Night. That is the only video game streamed here on Sword and Key, as Shadow, LD, and I play Baldur's Gate 3. That's 6:30 p.m. Pacific time on all Tuesdays. On Friday, we have another movie night, which we strictly do on our Discord. Again, as long as you're a member of our Discord, it's totally free. Anybody is welcome. We are watching Pompoko, because we do a monthly Ghibli watch. So that is the Tanuki 1994 animated film, which is pretty kid-friendly if you want to make that a movie night for the family. On Saturday, we have the return of our regular Horizons Call episodes. If you didn't catch our Horizons Call episode yesterday, I did that with the wonderful Kaila, who I should also thank for producing this episode. Kaila produced that one and also co-starred in it, as it was kind of a feature of her character Scarlet from Horizons Call and her first mate slash fiance, Marcus Ash, who had a bit of a dream sequence, because if there's one thing Kaila and I do, it's one-shot dream games, which is very fun. But the main episode of Horizons Call will be back on the 25th, 3 p.m. Pacific time, and that will probably be our penultimate episode, with our finale either being February 1st or 8th, all depending. We'll let you know as that happens. And then we'll have some more stuff in February, including some applications out So keep an eye out for those. Again, Discord first, social second. I do, as the month is even wrapping up, do still want to shout out a belated birthday to Shadow that happened on the 8th. I'm going to get every chance I can because Shadow's a wonderful person, and I always want to celebrate the fact that she's around. Other than that, it looks like the week of the 26th through the 1st might be a little quiet. A lot of our games have either wrapped up recently or won't be playing that week. It's a busy week. So we'll just kind of take the week to plan and prep. If there's anything you ever want to see, any games you might want to play in or be in, or anything that kind of stuff, you can always reach out on Discord. Excuse me, to myself, Eva, or any person on our mod team. We always love suggestions for stuff because there's a lot of games out there, and sometimes it's you get paralyzed by the selections. So it's sometimes nice to know what people want to see. All that said, I think that's probably where we will end things today. Well, thank you, Raiders, for jumping in. We're just wrapping up here, but we will likely be rating somebody as well. And
Heading over to see Rake.
Perfect. We're going over to see Rake. Kaila, did we got a winner for the?
It was.
Congratulations, Shadow. Congratulations on that pin. We will have one more pin giveaway next time we play. So again, not next week, but the week after. And this game only has a few episodes left. Probably, obviously, we didn't end at 12, maybe 16. We'll see. Stick around, take care of yourselves. Until next time, remember the Humblewood motto: no body, no crime, no drama. And yeah, have fun, be good, take care of yourselves and others. See ya.